these are the 3 skylights that are going to be going on the roof today. Now, something that I don't know what sort of idiot would forget this, but when you're making a frame, obviously you don't just copy those measurements, because otherwise, I don't know, oh, what's this here? We might just happen to have an example of what some muppet would do. Is I cut a piece of timber to the size of the distance there, which if I just remove this, you can see the issue that would arise from such a thing. You can't really fix that. Today's ingredients, we've got a roller to help roll some of the corner patches, which are very, very important, and this is uncured rubber. Got contact adhesive, which is needed for bonding the EPDM to the timber. Now, crucial thing to remember is EPDM requires contact adhesive both on the underside of the EPDM and on the timber, and you need it to get to a touch dry feel before you push the two together. This is also uncured flashing. If you don't know what uncured means, well, basically if I peel this backing off, it's just super sticky rubber. This is around maybe 200 quid. So yeah, crazy. All of the EPDM for the roof costs 600 quid, but the uncured rubber circle patches and the flashing cost 200 quid. That doesn't really make sense. Also, very exciting development here. I got the only one that is left in England, but we will chat about that more later. But for now, let's get these on the roof. And that is that. So I've test fitted them because, well, that would be worst case Ontario if I put these up there, fixed them all down, and they did not fit at all. That would, yeah, be pretty bad. As you can see, I'm using 4x2, and you should not do this. Ideally, you want 150mm upstands, and that is due to various reasons of having rain falling and then bouncing back up onto the skylights. But I only have 4x2, so I don't really care. And there we have it. That is every single skylight now installed, which I can't really believe how well that all worked out. Now, if you remember, this area here is the living room area. The sofa is going to be going just about there. And my thought behind positioning the skylight here was that when you're sat down and the sun is setting, all of the clouds tend to glow. So you'd be watching TV on this wall here, and then you'd be able to look up out at the sky just there. Now, originally, I had this skylight in the same position as this one, but then I realised that when you're sat down, you'd just be looking up at plasterboard, which would be in this area around there, which I just didn't think would work very well. Now, the reason that I've left that skylight on this side is because the kitchen area is going to be just around here, and therefore this skylight is pretty crucial in getting light down onto the work surface. So yeah, very happy with the layout of those skylights. And then my favourite skylight is this one in the ensuite, which, if you can't remember, this section here going up to this floor joist just there is going to be an 80 centimetre wide walk-in shower. And my plan was to get the skylight completely flush and covering the entire shower tray area. Now, as you can see here, with what I've been going on about with it being flush, once you've added tile backerboard, mortar, tiles, that is going to allow you now to tile completely up to the glass, which is just something you don't really see very often. There's going to be no plasterboard reveal at all around this. It's just tile straight up to the glass on not only this wall, and then the wall that is going to be built off of here, which is going to allow me to have that really cool effect where it's basically a perfect light well. And to be honest, you probably won't even realise that there's actually glass up there because you won't have any perimeter at all. So yeah, very, very happy with how that turned out, because I mean, well, there's quite a lot that could go wrong because you're trying to get it all perfectly in line. Now, this is pretty worrying, I know, but I've had an idea which has meant that I've cancelled my window order because, well, this window here is going to be an opening window to let all the moisture from the shower out of the bathroom. That one is still on order, but for the other windows, like this one that is going to go opposite the bed, I remembered seeing in Switzerland probably 10-15 million pound chalet that were using skylights for the windows. Now, that sounds really weird, but I cannot explain to you how good it looked, because essentially all they did was create wooden upstands and then put a skylight in. Instead of horizontally, they just put it all in vertically. And I can't stress enough to you how insane it looked. And it really did look kind of super yacht-like because you've got that black glass perimeter around the window. Now, my biggest worry about that is, well, for normal windows that are casement windows, they cost around 300 quid. Whereas skylights like these, they cost 400 quid. So it's a little bit more expensive, and it's a bit of a risk to just send it and attempt something that, well, yeah, I've never seen really anyone do it, except for this one example. And yeah, that scares me a bit, but I think it will be worth it. So that is the plan.